Yo, what is good, my quick crypto family and my coin factory family? Back once more with another daily Kaspa and crypto live stream. Back again, welcome back everybody to the stream. And as always, we have a lot of good news to cover in the markets today. Of course, you can see right now Kaspa is seemingly making a push, a rally back towards the 10-cent zone, but struggling a lot with resistance and sellers at around 8 to 8.1 cents. We'll get into that in this stream as always. As you can see from the title states $3.5 trillion to flood into crypto, flood into the markets. This comes off the back of an interview with Bitwise's head of research, Matt Hogan, talking about the potential for a multi-year bull run. It's not being the end of the bull run right here, right now. Potentially, this is the start of a multi-year bull run. The fact that we're going to see so much institutional capital flood into this space, a lot more to cover in this stream. Of course, we've already talked about some of the stuff in this stream, like the fact that we're going to see stablecoins coming through, which is a very big deal. This will be very beneficial for Kaspa as well, as they're also accelerating their stablecoin developments as well, which is good to see. And also, we've got updates regarding, this sort of stuff as well, and much more. We're seeing resistance, whatnot, and also some KRC20 updates as well. Ultimately, very, very important news all around. So I'm very optimistic about where we're going to see, what we're going to see very, very soon. In the immediate short term, we might see some more pullback still, especially for Kaspa right now, but long term looks very, very bullish. In fact, I just concluded and finished my executive roundtable, what we cover here every single week with the executives here. And inside of it, we cover some very, very important insight regarding institutions and how they are now actively making moves in bringing more awareness to crypto and to AI. Of course, you want to know about that. Got to check it out, links in the description, chat, also my homepage here. You can offer a 7-day free trial. I'm currently in the process of editing that video out on playback so you can watch the recording. But it's a very, very insightful information, and we also post the information in there later on as well. But as it stands right now, market short term still looking a little bit volatile. We're going to readdress this post here about potentially more pullbacks in the short term, but long term looks very, very bullish indeed. So as always, if you enjoy these streams, I'll be doing everything with day, leave a like, share with your friends and subscribe for more. And hopefully you're all having a very, very good weekend. What's up, Statman Man? Yo, what's up, QC? Hope you're doing very, very well, brother. What's up to you, 2 Buffalo 3? Good morning to you, Andy A. 15 more Kaspa. Keep stacking that bad, brother. It sounds very healthy indeed. Keep going. Crypto Tony, my man, welcome back. Clayton Green again. What's up, everyone? Hope you're doing very, very well. And you too. Kaspa is the win. Kaspa for the win. You know it. Kaspa is so much more potential. So much more upside potential for price, and what they're building is insane. And Adam to you too from Nova Scotia. Love your channel. I buy Kaspa every day. Big up to me. Keep DCAing. Do as you need to do. So with that being said, we can see right now, if we look at Kaspa right now, we can see that Kaspa is currently valued at 8.08 cents, up 3.79% on the daily time frame. It is looking very good, truth be told. However, what we are seeing is a lot, and I do mean a significant portion of resistance at this region right now. Around here, we're seeing a hell of a lot of resistance right now. A lot of exchanges are setting up massive sell walls at this zone right now, which is why we can see Kaspa has this little wick above it, which is a sign of a lot of sell pressure in and around this zone right now. Kaspa's struggling to break above it. Of course, it's still possible right now. I'd like to believe it. If we do break above this zone, of course, we've got to break above 9 cents, and then this being the true level of resistance right now for Kaspa. If we break above 10 cents, I think that's a very good indicator. We're going to start seeing it make another push towards all-time highs. That might be also the indicator for the top-tier exchange to jump on board of Kaspa right now. We look at Kaspa on CoinMarketCap. Volume there is not really high, 67.9 again, still quite low. You can see the volume mainly has been done through MEXE, then Gate, and then we've got the likes of BitGet and Bybit, both contributing to quite a lot of the volume, which is quite optimistic. So remember, if you track back all the way back to November of 2024, we heard this interview with the KEF, this AMA, and they mentioned that what these big exchanges want to see, the likes of Binance and Coinbase and OKX, want to see huge volume with the bigger exchanges, being the Bybit, the BitGet, also the Krakens as well. Of course, Kraken has always been lackluster because it's only just USD, not USDT. But these two now are seemingly, while the volume for Kaspa is still quite low, 67 million is not a lot, but the percentage-wise, a lot more is being done through the bigger exchanges like BitGet and Bybit. So this could be a potential indicator and a sign of some more, imminent tier 1 listings. Of course, it's a matter of time. We know that much already. If you look at the volume transaction right now, we can see again we've seen some pullbacks. It was at 512 yesterday. Now it's at 511,000 addresses right now. You can see once more a lot of the sales and buys have been happening from the big exchange wallets, and seemingly some small purchases happening from other wallets as well. And you can see again, last 24 hours being mainly the smaller wallet holders, the whales, and those have been kind of holding strong apart from the last 1 hour. And this is also why I believe we may see some pullbacks. We had our executive roundtable earlier today, and we did speak about a bit more of the direction we can see Kaspa going, and of course the other markets, Bitcoin and Ethereum and whatnot as well, with our pro experienced traders see crypto. And also we highlighted that we could see potential push up following the fundamental news, but again, considering the market sentiment still not properly bullish just yet, there's still potential for more downside. I think personally this could be a potential zone that Kaspa are going to struggle to break out of. We might see some pullback towards this support here again. If we can hold above the support level here though, that will be a very good indicator that we're going to start making a push towards the next level of resistance, being at 9 cents. But of course, time will tell. Kaspa's got a lot of big catalysts coming through in the next 2 to 3 weeks that might help in it rallying above. Again, we have this downward sloping wedge as well, another element of TA that could be an indicator for, you know, it getting rejected at this zone here and coming back down again. Ultimately, right now, I still think Kaspa's in a strong position right now, and if you're playing for the long haul, not for the short term, then my personal belief, not financial advice, that it might be a good place to start DCAing, with Kaspa only being valued around 8 cents right now. So to start off with, we've got some updates regarding Kaspa. All in all, very, very good news to look at. Looking at this every single day. We have it here. Of course, we mentioned this yesterday that Kasplex have now announced that they are releasing their DevNet for zero knowledge Ethereum virtual machines, ZKEVM, which is the key component towards smart contracts, coming to Kaspa. The DevNet's now live, with the testnet scheduled to go live sometime soon. The public testnet, I think, is going to be, from what I heard from Oyson Lee, like 3 weeks or so from now, so early April we're probably looking at, which is good to see. And I'm sure then the main release will come following 10 bps as well, the hard fork. Doing some fine tuning here and there and whatnot, but ultimately, as Block0 highlights here, which is completely accurate, this means Kaspa could soon execute Ethereum compatible smart contracts without compromising speed or security. What's going to happen very soon, because Kaspa, as we should believe and already know, is faster than Ethereum, is more secure than Ethereum, is scalable. You know, it's Ethereum has massive shortcomings. Ethereum's the biggest chain though, even bigger than Solana. Not in terms of volume right now, but in terms of longevity and what they've built. Ethereum's the biggest one. That's why those who have done a lot more research would have seen that a lot of these institutions, even Rory O'Neill of the KRI, he mentioned a few months back that he was talking to one of his, you know, financial institution mates, if you will, who manages between 20 to 40 trillion dollars of customer assets a year. So a significant amount of money. And he mentioned to them that if they switch from Ethereum to Kaspa, they save tens of millions of dollars on the gas fees alone. So I highlight that because it highlights the superiority of Kaspa, but also because this is a common factor between all massive FIs. They are currently trying to integrate blockchain technology. They are all building on Ethereum, being the kind of general hub compatible chain, if you will, all building on Ethereum. But if you look at all the other infrastructure projects, the XRP Ledgers, the Kaspas right now that's building it, the Suis, and many, many more, all of them have seemingly got some form of interoperability nature towards Ethereum. The reason why is because institutions are building on Ethereum and wanting to bridge over to the chains of choice. Now, right now, I think it's going to be XRP Ledger, but I'm hoping with the KRI and their Warp Core, their Gigawatt stablecoin, their asset mints, their Olive chains, and the ZETEX or ZETEX for Mr. Miles, who heard me saying Z. Point being is the projects coming out for Kaspa, I believe, will start significantly pulling in some form of liquidity from the institutions who are still trying to find the chain for them. And decentralization, really secure, very quick, very cheap chain. Kaspa, ideally the best, in my opinion, the best infrastructure layer is going to be coming out, the most innovative one. You can see more adoption coming through. So what this will mean, with the long ramble going on here, is Kaspa in due time, not this cycle of course, it's still early doors, but in due time will make Ethereum obsolete, irrelevant. Because it's going to be faster than Ethereum, cheaper than Ethereum, and also be able to bridge Ethereum smart contracts to Kaspa's layer 1, to its infrastructure, to its block DAG. So you'll see businesses just going through Kaspa as opposed to going through Ethereum. You already saw a video, I'm not sure how long ago back it was, I probably retweeted it already, which showcased a video from Zealous Swaps, I believe it was. Let's see if I can find it while scrolling down, where it basically just showcased that they're doing some tests right now with their DEX that's going to be building onto Igra Labs, and it showcased MetaMask, which MetaMask is of course MetaMask is, of course, an Ethereum-based wallet. I'm not sure how far back I got to go. Actually, I'll probably just be able to type in Zeloswap and see if it comes up. But it's a prime example. Yeah, is it this one? Yeah, look here. See MetaMask right here. So it's a prime example right here of Kaspa, aiming to be compatible with Ethereum, therefore in due time making Ethereum obsolete. By becoming programmable and compatible with Ethereum while remaining ultra fast, it marks a major breakthrough for the entire crypto ecosystem. And of course, we should all be thrilled at the beginning of Kaspa of what's going to be coming very, very soon. The real bull run starts end of May. That is what the sentiment says right now, and that's based on the premise that, of course, we've got the next FOMC meeting happening on the 19th in 4 days' time, but likelihood we won't be seeing anything significant then. Most likely, the belief right now is we're going to be seeing some form of early signs towards rate cuts and whatnot happening in April, and then likely rate cuts officially starting alongside QE and money printing and whatnot in and around May. Bank of Japan apparently going to be revisiting their inflation policies and whatnot in May as well. So likelihood is in May, as Jordan was highlighting here, there's a good chance we'll start seeing the so-called real bull run start then. Of course, I think that we're in the bull run right now, we're in a bear trap right now, but we'll see the next leg up for the bull run to higher highs very, very soon. I think May could be a good time for it. And by that point, you'll see 10 BPS already out. You'll see likely smart contracts effectively out as well. You'll see, from what I've seen, as Johnny seems to have confirmed, some form of stablecoin integration like USDT and USDC coming out in and around May time as well in Q2. So Kaspa is going to be releasing all of its major blockbuster developments in and around potentially the start of the market rally upwards. And we're seeing a lot of institutions, which I'll get into this video again in a little bit very, very soon. We see multiple videos talking about, from these institutional wealth managers, these higher up, talking about the significant amount of capital we're going to see flood very quickly into this market. So, stay tuned for this video. Again, Matt Hogan, who's the head of research for Bitwise, wealth manager, bullshit elements. So it's important to note. We'll come back to that again in a little bit moment though. Leave a like for Jay, he never stopped believing. Art Zero, again, every single day. If you enjoy these streams, of course, leave a like, share your friends for more. I apologize for going a little bit earlier today, but thought I'd still get the content out regardless though. The reason Marathon sold Kaspa was because they knew downside was coming. They planned to rebuy it on the swing low. They say Kaspa says in their Kaspa documents. And correct, in Marathon's recent financials, they mentioned that Kaspa will be primarily obtained through mining, leaving room that they will buy Kaspa in the future. And to your point for the low, I do believe that Marathon selling Kaspa was a strategic decision. I do believe that much. And I believe that, for me, Kaspa, for where it's going to go very, very soon, it is financially wise, my personal belief, not financial wise, that Kaspa will be ready up in price and therefore is worthwhile stacking while it's cheap. That's what the institutions are doing right now. All the big whales are stacking while it's cheap. You can see right now the supplies are just short of 18% from the top 10 addresses. But again, talking about stablecoins as we're going back a little bit beforehand, stablecoins again are going to be very, very huge. And we got a post here from Oyson Lee, building on top of what this boat mentioned right here. So we can see here from Corey Cusack that $15.6 trillion in annualized transactions are happening from stablecoins alone. This post here talk about the adoption is real. Stablecoins overtook MasterCard and Visa in 2024 last year, with the processed value of $15.6 trillion in annualized transactions, 190% more than Visa and 200% more than MasterCard. We can see here the historical data of such. Visa, of course, being the most dominating, transactional value asset, Web2 payment infrastructure, dominating every single year until last year when stablecoins officially took up. That's why institutions desperately this year, 2025, want to get access to stablecoins, because they've seen for the first time, they've seen from 2019, the last bull cycle before that, when they had no real volume, started getting a lot of volume in the last cycle, and then this cycle overtook Visa, the biggest payment infrastructure platform in the world. That's why institutions want access to stablecoins so desperately. And that's precisely why Kaspa's in a very prime position. Kaspa is about to be the cheapest, fastest, and most secure network for these stablecoins. It's a very, very big deal. And that's what Oyson Lee effectively gets into detail about here. The fact that we're going to be seeing stablecoin payment options via Kaspa on CoinPal as well. One for USDT, and USDT is issued on Kaspa. So we're going to be seeing both Circle and Tether on Kaspa very shortly, which is huge. The two biggest stablecoin infrastructure, and I'm sure you'll see many more, and Kaspa's own native stablecoin coming out in due time as well. Stablecoins are a massive, massive market, and the best part as well is Kaspa, to an extent, even though it's decentralized, the partnerships they have, while seemingly lackluster, they've got some good partnerships and more will coming through, I'm sure. The partnerships they have are already going to give them some form of access into the significant markets. Glowcash has a European MEI license since 2017, and CoinPal, who is the venture of the KEF, so working alongside Kaspa, have a Europe VSAP license company since 2023. So they are licensed to be working in these sort of other financial markets in Europe. So Kaspa, while adopting in America and the MENA region, they might be a little bit lackluster for the time being. Because it seems like for the meantime right now, Kaspa's main market seems to be in Europe. You're seeing a lot of the conferences happening in Europe, like the one that happened either just, I think, a day or two ago with the KS new additional member research employee. Someone they just took on for research. He was at an event talking about how Kaspa fits the consensus of Satoshi Nakamoto. There's meant to be another blockchain expo happening in Europe again with Maya. I believe her name is, who's someone who's got a lot of experience in real estate. Also talking about Kaspa there as well. So, and of course, remember Kaspa literally at the beginning of this month won the best blockchain innovation award at the Crypto Expo EU. So Kaspa right now seems to be definitely tapping into the EU market, which is huge, and that's very good to see. And I'm sure they're going to gradually, but most definitely, expand into more adoption into America, especially with Trump seemingly accelerating adoption in America as well, with the KII meeting with the SEC Crypto Task Force as well. American adoption definitely coming through as well, and I'm sure MENA will follow very soon after that as well as every other region as well. So that's very good to see. And of course, Christian Hudson highlights here that they currently use CoinPal to facilitate Kaspa transactions on our Rock the Kaspa merch store. So they're already seeing use cases of Kaspa being utilized through CoinPal and other elements, and of course, stablecoins will just level it up to, the next level, which is again what we want to see. This is when you're going to see Kaspa's use case start to accelerate more so, therefore the demand for Kaspa will rise more so, and therefore the price will start to rally as well. It's all a matter of time. Potentially May is the so-called start of the Kaspa and crypto bull run. Kaspa has the potential, I think, to make some significant gains based on all of the significant adoption coming to stablecoins. I mentioned this months and months back. I mentioned this article at the beginning of my streams. I started streaming on August 1st. August 6th, the article came out, and I mentioned it near the very beginning, talking about how there's a current race to dominate stablecoins. This comes from Harvard. They're talking about how stablecoins have the potential to rewire the global financial system. In doing so, they could allow software to eat banking and financial services, sectors left relatively untouched by the internet. They could displace legacy payment systems and credit card networks such as SWIFT, Visa, and MasterCard. And we're already seeing proof of that right here. Stablecoins are displacing them already. That's why they're trying to adopt the technology. And SWIFT, again, we've seen signs of that already as well. That's why stablecoins are so very important. And that's why I believed and seemingly is happening right now. So that stablecoins are a market that Kaspa desperately needs to tap into to get that early level adoption. The technology and what they're building will be recognized if they're in the right markets. It's all well and good us flaunting and expressing the bullish desire of what Kaspa's building. Cheapest technology, cheapest transaction fees, faster transaction fees, truly decentralized. It's all fantastic news. But if we don't get adoption, it's all null and mute. So with us entering the right market, stablecoins, getting smart contracts onto board so we can build more development on top of it, without having the KRI getting it into institutional spaces and whatnot, talking to the SEC, talking to other agencies, that'll give the institutions, the money makers, more idea of what Kaspa actually is bringing, and that will mean that us preaching about the technology and what they're bringing just has that extra level of weight to it. But they're tackling the right markets, stablecoins being the big one again, which is also why this for me is also very important. This doesn't cover stablecoins per se, but as I just highlighted, this is the reason why stablecoins want to get into the institutions want to get into the market, because of stablecoins is what they want desperately access to right now. That's why you saw the policy of stablecoins passed 2 days ago. The Senate passed a stablecoin bill, just policy 2 days ago, the Genius Act. It went 18-6, quite a convincing victory, if you ask me. And they want access to the industry, and as highlighted in this segment here, in this interview with Rick Elderman and also Matt Hogan, who is the head of research at Bitwise, one of the big institutions, wealth managers, highlight that $70 trillion worth of institutional capital is waiting to get into crypto, and they're likely going to allocate, let's say, 5% of their portfolio into crypto. That is $3.5 trillion worth coming to crypto this year, and currently the market cap of crypto is only 2.76, so over 2x. So my prediction personally is $6 trillion market cap of crypto. and this would coincide with that prediction, but potentially we see it go higher. Potentially we see it go higher because we're going to see even more adoption coming through. But of course, do your own research at your own discretion, but listen very closely to this video and you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about here.
About 40. What that tells me, again, is this is a multi-year bull market. The other thing I would call out, you mentioned $70 trillion. I think those people are eventually going to have 5% of their portfolios in crypto. That's $3.5 trillion. That's more than the total market cap today. Think about that much money trying to flood into this space, right? I think that's what you're going to see. Even though the spigots are only open a little bit, so far this year, ETFs have bought about 40,000 Bitcoin. Corporations have bought about 50,000 Bitcoin. The Bitcoin network has produced about 18,000 Bitcoin. So even though we're only open this much, it's 90,000 Bitcoin of demand against 18,000 Bitcoin of supply. When you think about that $70 trillion finally getting their taps on, I think people underestimate the scale of the impact. What that tells.
Now, of course, once more, these institutions have their own agendas, as everybody does, so you can't take what they say at face value. We were talking about it earlier with Tony in my executive roundtable. I guess you want to know more about that. There's more insight we provide in there. Links are down below in the description, on my homepage, and also in the chat. Talk about the sort of institutional adoption, what's coming to the space, the significance of the fact that they're now teaching about crypto, and much more. Again, insight, you're going to learn more in the community there. 7-day free trial, do it for free. But ultimately, what's highlighting here is that people are underestimating the significant jump in crypto we're going to be seeing very, very shortly. Now, I do agree with that to an extent. Of course, I'm still playing conservative because I don't want to be a moon boy. I think that's the word. I think that could be a very damaging mindset. It's not a problem per se. It can be fine, but I think it can be damaging because it can also mean that you aren't, you're acting, too emotionally if you're a moon boy. You're making potentially some unrealistic expectations. That's why I play conservative and play logically and then leave a moon bag. Therefore, I potentially can capitalize still on some higher gains if it gets there. But that, be that as it may. Point being is, Matt Hogan highlights two important factors here. One being that you've got $70 trillion worth of institutional wealth that wants to get into crypto, and only 5% of their portfolios be allocated to crypto would be $3.5 trillion. But he also highlights that there's $90,000 Bitcoin demand, but only 18,000 Bitcoin supply that's being distributed right now. Point being is, there's already a supply short of Bitcoin. And if institutions are willing to flood in this level of capital into the market, that's going to drive more FOMO to the retail side of things as well. And you'll see, therefore, potentially the market go higher than expected. Of course, we'll have to wait and see, but I do believe that we are in for a very, very significant rally this cycle still, despite market corrections and the FUD that's rallying more and more right now. Hopefully you'll see that deter in due time. But it just also coincides with my belief that, again, we have a lot more documentation from institutions in my executive community, the CF community here, which highlights that there is potential for this being a different sort of bull run, maybe a multi-year bull. Maybe it's not going to be a typical ends in November, December time it comes back down 70%. It's going to be either 50% pullback or just continue going up from there. We'll have to wait and see. Time will tell. It's still early doors, but that's what my Hogan highlights here: potential for a multi-year bull run. And this is why, when people there are a lot of people who I still see talk about Kaspa as being a ghost chain right now, which, sure, say as you will, it hasn't got a lot of adoption right now, so to an extent I can agree, to an extent, although I'm going to disagree personally either way. But they also talk about they want to wait till Kaspa has more development out there and buy next cycle. Do as you will, not financial advice, end of the day, do what's best for you, but I am seeing sources upon sources right now that suggest that we may not have an opportunity to get a cheap Kaspa again, or cheap crypto again. This might not be a typical cycle. Again, you've got to do your own research about this. Information we have in here a lot more, provides more insight as well. But right now the markets are in a very, very, the fact that we have a potential to now look at crypto and like Ethereum, stuff like that, levels not seen since 2023 for Ethereum, and equally similarly for Kaspa as well, is a golden opportunity in my belief. Very, very fortunate. It's frustrating, of course, we've been holding more recently. I definitely agree with that much. But we are still seeing a lot more in terms of where we could potentially go from here. And the potential gain, therefore, it's what? A 2x to get to all-time highs from here? Or 2.5x from here to get to all-time highs? And if you believe Kaspa can make to all-time highs, which I personally think that's quite achievable, then, that's a, well, not financial advice, could be a good trade. Of course, I see Kaspa going a lot higher than that in the cycle. A lot higher than that. So the risk to reward for me for Kaspa is similarly to what this account highlighted, the account reviews made a post about it yesterday. And they highlighted the risk to reward for Kaspa is very, very low. And I do agree with that. The risk to reward for Kaspa is extremely low right now because the price is very, very low. It's currently 74.2% undervalued according to the power law. And I think the upside potential for Kaspa is extremely huge. And that builds up everything else that's coming to the space right now as well. Short term, sure, more pullbacks. I think it's possible. We'll get to that in a moment as well. But long term looks very, very good still. And that's why I stay bullish on Kaspa. Hopefully Kaspa has a business development team to persuade these other projects to join their environment. I'm sure they're working on it. Maybe not Kaspa per se, but the KEF and KII, I'm sure they're working on that factor. I know that the KII are talking to the crypto task force for the SEC. They also mentioned other agencies. Let me quickly load up the post so you can see what I'm talking about. Crypto task force. Tell me it's in my community. So it's pretty, yeah, here you go. Also, this information once more is in my community, my free community. It's in the paid and free community. The paid one has obviously a lot more institutional insight, but this free community has information there as well. You can see here KII talking about the fact they're going to be talking to was it this one I wanted as well? Yes. Is it this one? Yeah, so this one, yes. You can see here, building to what Johnny's saying here as well. So KII talking about, you know, the new digital asset framework, principles and opportunities for the United States, taxonomy and whatnot. Highlight here, they're going to be talking to the SEC, crypto task force, right here. They're going to be meeting with them very, very soon. And they also mentioned down here as well, they're going to be meeting in DC with other agencies, not just the SEC, as well as other institutions and others to discuss Kaspa and the projects being built. That's going to probably be their projects though. So that means, you know, Gigawatt Stablecoin, Asset Mint, Warp Core, ZETEX, which is Zero Emission Trading Exchange, Olive Chain, and much, much more as well. So I think Kaspa, yes, they're going to have a team that's definitely going to get them in the right markets, or they have people who seem are doing that. That's what seems the KEF are doing right now as well, and equally the KII. And I'm sure you'll see more people jumping on board to help out as Kaspa keeps rallying more in adoption and demand. And when the projects come out, when they finally, you know, they finish the 10 bps Rusty migration, followed by you know, the smart contract integration, which Tom Polinsky himself is working on smart contract system architecture, as opposed to when Michael Sutton's working on the DAG Knight and the Ghost DAG. And of course you've got the IGRA Labs and Kasplex and Kas ZKEVM and equally Project Sparkle all working on layer 2 zero knowledge Ethereum virtual machine, so smart contracts as well, building to a Kaspa as well. And then of course you've got stablecoins being done mainly with the KEF right now, and so much more still. So I think the business development, the adoptions part will come through in due time, and you'll see more building on top of Kaspa as well. People often exchange their silver, medium of exchange, to gold store of value when the metals were used for everyday currency, and that's what you'll see. I think you can see the same with Kaspa as well. If people still do deem Kaspa as their digital silver, do Bitcoin digital gold, then yeah, Bitcoin will be the store of value, and they'll trade out their Bitcoin to Kaspa for the transaction element to then be used for, and then, you know, put it back into Bitcoin store of value potentially. Although I still think Kaspa has an element of store of value as well. What are your thoughts on the Kaspa report tweeting about holding Kaspa because of its superior form of money and only pulling what you need when you need it? There are two ways to view Kaspa. One way, which is how I do view it, but it's not as strict as that, I guess. The one way you view Kaspa is as an investment, in the terms of, you know, wanting to make some money, you know, maybe make your 3, 4, 5, whatever it may be, X this cycle, and then take it out and then DC it back in, whatever it may be. The other way that people view it, which I know Kaspa Report does, I know Kaspa Silver does, and equally I do to an extent as well, is this is meant to be, or potentially meant to be, the next form of money. How you have dollars, euros, pound sterling, UN, the actual fiat currency. You've got stablecoins coming into play with that, but also you've got Kaspa as well, who's going to be a gas fee element for the stablecoins as well, potentially, or whatever it may be as it matures more and more. Point being is, if you're holding Kaspa, of course it'll keep appreciating in value as time goes on more and more, but then you're only actually utilizing your Kaspa and using it as a form of payment when you actually need it, like when you're buying a coffee, which might happen in the future. So I haven't seen the post per se, but I can, you know, generalize what is being said about it, and to an extent I agree. Now for me personally, I am going to be taking some profits of Kaspa this cycle. I've mentioned it already. I'm still holding it for the long term. Like I'm never ever going to be completely out of Kaspa. That much I can say wholeheartedly. I have no reason to be. Because also there's a chance that it could just moon when it like it's already done great in a bear cycle. So who's to say that Kaspa is going to similarly, like the rest of crypto, potentially come down if we do see if it does not end up being a multi-year bull cycle, we see it come down 30, 40, 50%. Also, say Kaspa will come down as well. It's already done that in a bear cycle, and you'll see more developments coming up at that point. Maybe it doesn't go down. Who knows? So I'll keep a moon bag just in case. But for me, I'll probably take some profits, and then maybe look to DCA back in again. But again, I see both sides of the argument, I just for it also depends on your financial situation right now. If you have the financial capacity to just hold Kaspa long term and then only use it when you need to use it, then that might be the better choice. But if you need some more immediate capital right here and now, where you have not got, a lot of capital currently behind you, a lot of dry powder, then you've got to probably go with the former. Get some money else so you can, currently live your life as it is right now, and then DCA back in if you get the chance to. So it ultimately, the TLDR of that, of Kaspa report, I think it depends on your financial situation. If you can afford to just keep holding it, and only pull it off when you need to, then I think that might be the best choice. If you can't, then, again, you've got to do what's best for you. For me, I'm going to take some out, because that's kind of the situation that I'm in. I haven't got the financial capacity just to hold it for the long term and to leave it there. I would like to and kind of need to have some in the more immediate short term sometime this cycle. But I'm going to take out as little as I possibly can, because again, I do see it as something that I could just keep holding and only use it when I actually need to use it. If that answers your question, my man. Another good Kaspa tip, I listen to people say MEXC is manipulating the price. Is it the people they deal business to, aka the market makers? They'll get Kaspa price that they want. I mean, yeah, again, MEXC, Binance, KuCoin, who it may be, I'm sure there's market manipulation going on, whether it be the exchanges or market makers. Point being is, be that as it may, right now the market in itself is just struggling. So it's not a direct, attack, if you will, at the exchanges per se. Although people are doing that to the community, is understanding that it's not just the exchanges that are her fault. It's all the money makers, all people have the capital, all the market's correcting right now. Which, actually, speaking of which, we do have posts about that as well. So right now we see Kaspa is currently at 8.078. It's currently struggling to pick up 8.1 cents. You can see that right now. It's got its massive sell wall, massive sell volume around this zone right here, and that's proven in these posts here. First here is from MEXC. You can see MEXC's got a massive sell wall here around the 8 cents all the way up to 8.1 cents. A massive sell wall at 8 cents right now, which is where Kaspa's currently residing. And then similarly as well here, which I think is on Kraken, they've also got another massive sell wall here at 8.13, 2, 1, and 8. So 8.1 cents. So again, we're seeing a lot of sell volume around 8.1. So this will be likely a very, very high level of resistance to break above. And this is why I believe the potential that we could see some more pullbacks of Kaspa in the short term. Maybe it only comes back down to the support here at 7.5. Maybe it comes down a little bit further. Maybe it goes back down all the way to 5 cents again. We'll have to wait and see where the market resides and what this is where right now for me the short term says Kaspa is going to come down a little bit, retrace a little bit, and the macro decide how far back Kaspa come down. If the macro ends up being bearish FUD news regarding more tariffs and whatnot and more, trade wars, you'll see it come down further with Bitcoin. If it ends up being less than that, it may not come down as far. Although saying that, Bitcoin does seem to be potentially making a move back up towards the higher levels here again. Of course, time will tell. Have to wait and see. But of course, the tier element and stuff like that we covered in a lot more detail thanks to C Crypto, our experienced trader in this community here. So he gave a lot more insight about that as well. So those who are in this community already have the ideas of where the market will hopefully end up in the next week or so. If you want to know more about that, you've got to join it. Free trial, link to the description chat, also my homepage as well. But we can see again, massive sell walls right now for Kaspa, which is why the price right now is struggling to break above it. But I'm still not worried. Again, that's short-term noise. I'm not worried about it. And this is also going to build toward that short-term potential as well. Potentially some more short-term pain, if you will. This is a building on what happened yesterday as well. We spoke about yesterday how Wall Street, Bank of America, has finally admitted that DOGE, which is Elon Musk's and Trump's Department of Government Efficiencies, they're working to detox government is critical. They're saying it's critical but it'll be painfully brutal in the short term. So ultimately, the long-term outlook of the market looks very, very bullish. You'll see rate cuts slightly coming through very, very soon. You'll see quantitative easing, money printing, and so on and so forth. But the short term, there could be more pain. Goes into detail about this post here. 3 shocking statistics. How 1 year ago, 85% of US job market growth was in governments and sectors dependent on government spending, like healthcare and education. So ultimately, how the jobs are always, grouped around the government, whatnot, which is not good for economic growth at all. Also the fact that, in 2024, 1/3 of GDP came from government spending, a record high, excluding periods of war and crisis. So again, governments right now made up the majority of the ecosystem. And every G20, and it's also trying to highlight that what Trump's trying to do right now is shift it from being government spending fuels the economy to economic spending fuels the economy. That's seemingly his agenda right now. That's what the Bank of America is trying to highlight. That's what Trump's trying to do right now. And every G20 country has higher average tariff rates than the United States. Also, we're just trying to say, yes, America right now, they're implementing tariffs, but, every other country in G20 countries have higher tariffs. So all the America's trying to do is catch back up. While it's giving a lot of pain in the short term, it's a necessity to help us long term. Remarkable admission for Bank of America here, third of its kind from major banks, saying that DOGE is desperately needed as the alternative is catastrophe. If we don't do this, we could see a collapse in the US financial markets, with the dollar collapse. What Trump's effectively trying to do here, with adopting a crypto with the tariffs to cause more short-term negative volatility, but equally long-term stability, is to prevent the collapse of the dollar. Because every time there's been a collapse of a world reserve currency, it's been a catastrophe. The dollar's not the first one, of course. The pound sterling was one years back. There was a country, I forget what country it is right now. I think it was Venezuela, maybe, or Thailand. I'm not sure which one it was. It was one of these South American countries, I think it was actually. But their currency was world reserve currency, and they lost it, and that currency is literally worthless now. It completely capitulated and collapsed. America, if the dollar was no longer world reserve currency, could be in a similar situation. Now, thankfully, it's just due to stablecoins, again, because the majority of stablecoins are US dollar dominated. Thanks to America finalizing a stablecoin bill, this will help keep America in the forefront of the world reserve currency stablecoins now, which is good, and that also will prevent collapse. But of course, short-term volatility is looking very, very negative, and they highlight here the global handoff from big governments to the free market may prove slippery, because again, governments are the ones who are controlling the market, and now are saying no, we need to give back to the people. But it seemed necessary given large deficits and bloated debt burdens. Economic growth has been enabled by unsustainable government support and protectionist policies. No longer government policy. It shouldn't be the government doing this. Government should be able to help bolster the economy. It shouldn't be the government doing it for the economy. They should help the economy do it by themselves and be self-sufficient effectively. It will take time and could be a lot more, burden in the near short term, but long term things do look optimistic. Which is why, again, short term for crypto and Kaspa, I see potentially some more pullbacks, but that's why the post earlier, the comment made earlier by Jordan here, saying that we could potentially see a bull run start in May, does seem like the likely thesis right now, because short term is looking like building up that way. All the debt that's currently maturing will likely be refinanced by that point at lower interest rates and whatnot, being better for America. And then you'll see the QE coming through, the rate cuts coming through. Trump is adamant on having very, very low interest rates, extremely low interest rates. And this is how Trump's going to force Jerome Powell to do so. That's how he's going to do it. What's up, Good to Go, Sue? Welcome back, man. You're doing very, very well. Good to have you back again in the stream, my man. I agree. I have a moon bag. I won't sell for a long time. Big up to Buffalo 3. Yeah, I think that's, me personally, again, I think it's wise to do so just in case. Like, obviously, I'm going to take some profits, but I'm going to have a moon bag just in case so I don't end up missing out. And again, I'll de-save the moment I get the chance to when I have the excess capital to do so. If I were to sell, it would be to buy another asset, i.e. property, dividend, stocks, precious metals, etc. But if you don't have a bear run after this, it's good to hold a decent amount in your moon bag. I completely agree, and yeah, similarly, obviously when I make, or hopefully when we all make our gains from crypto and whatnot, I'll sort of have my bags in certain assets, predominantly Kaspa, of course, moon bag just in case, but I'll be hopefully reallocating some of my holding, my portfolio into other investments that have, I guess more stability, because crypto, it has the highest risk to reward. That's literally what it is. It's the highest risk to reward. It's one of the best potential to make money. It's why institutions are getting involved, but it's still so volatile, so it's not safe yet. One of the best ones, seemingly, I've heard of like the likes of property and different stocks and whatnot. So I'll be looking into that sort of market, and that's probably stuff we're going to be diverting a little bit in this community here as well. Right now, it's obviously just crypto, some trading stuff like that, which we've been doing and more so, trying to find some hidden gems in crypto and whatnot, buying and selling some trading, exclusive information regarding, institutional research documents and what the institutions are looking towards right now, which seem to be AI and crypto, which again, if you want to know more about that, links are in the description chat on my homepage as well. Join free trial, 7-day free trial. But as the market comes to a close, which is going to probably happen, or potentially happen to an extent, we'll still talk about crypto, of course, crypto is the main thing, but we might start diversing into an investment community as opposed to just a crypto one. Because I have other connections to other people in, other financial spaces who are experienced in that area, so I could onboard them and give their insights into other markets as well. I don't think people know how close we were to the dollar's collapse. I'm so thankful Trump's in office doing what he's doing. I mean, yeah, again, we were eerily close to the dollar collapse. It was actually really, really close. And there was the whole talk of Black Swan event, dollar collapse catastrophe. It was closer than people would give credit for. And Trump's come in, shock up the whole scene, and cause a lot of, negative sentiment. But at the same time, it's actually, whether you like to admit it or not, he has helped prevent a catastrophe. That's what Bank of America said himself. What's up, John Doe? Hope you're doing very, very well. Leave a like. Yeah, as you know, as you enjoy these streams, we're doing these streams every single day. Leave a like, share your friends, and subscribe for more. And I hope you're all having a very, very good weekend as well. Now, in continuation, though, with some sources, we have next some talk regarding KRC20's community right now. Unfortunately, has become quite dry, quite dead. Although saying that Natural has now regained 11 million market cap, which is good to see. But, holders are still staying strong, but the market cap right now is lackluster. It's not doing so well. Of course, you can see the ones who are doing top right now. Where's Kiro? Is Kiro fallen off? Isn't that CG's one? Yeah, Kiro's come down quite heavily right now. In regards to volume. Volume's non-existent right now, crazy. But yeah, I mean, these currently the projects right now, a lot of them seem to be completely dead, which is expected right now. Right now, of course, Nacho is the top one. Until the volume right now seems to be still Kango being the top volume right now, which is interesting to see. What I'm currently understanding right now is we're seeing a lot of shifts happening in the space due to one of my sources. Shout out to the individuals you're watching. Again, I'm not going to name names just in case, but we are seeing the likes of Nacho, for example, having some significant changes. They're no longer available on XT, but it's not just XT. They're also no longer available on the likes of CoinStore and also Bitconomy. So Nacho is being delisted on many exchanges. Happened earlier this week, happened on the 12th and 11th from the looks of things, and you now have until seemingly end of March / April time to withdraw Nacho from the exchange if you're holding on these exchanges. Otherwise you'll lose it, so you need to withdraw it from the stuff like that. Of course, if you're part of the Nacho Discord community, you would have seen that as well. But what we're seeing right now is market delisting, and I want to highlight that I actually think it's quite a good thing. Because ultimately right now there is, as we can see, very limited demand for any of these memes, especially Nacho being the biggest one right now. There's no demand for them. So by them delisting the project, it's not going to really hard hinder them in any way. And when Kaspa starts to rally back up in price, and the demand comes back to KRC20 as well, they can then relist, hopefully, and then that'll help, bring more demand quickly back to Kaspa as well on the lesser exchanges and whatnot. I know the likes of Kango and Kaspi and Nacho all mentioned about tier 1 listings they're going to have coming through. Of course, market sentiment right now is just not good for it, so it's not wise. So we're going to probably see the exchanges that have been delisted, which is XT, Bitconomy, and CoinStore, will probably come back when the market sentiment's better again, and following that, you'll probably see that drive FOMO for a big tier 1, probably the likes of Gate, or bigger exchange like Gate, or tier 1 like Kraken, maybe even Binance at the time, depending on the sentiment and whatnot. So I think it's quite a smart strategy, to say the least, that Nacho is doing this. But it's not just Nacho, of course, or it is just, but main news coming around Nacho, but it's mostly this also coming around the exchange listing news right now. There's other post here from Ironfrog Crypto, who is part of the Nacho creator team, highlights that unfortunately WeX Official has turned out to be a fake exchange that has no issue scamming projects out of tens of thousands of dollars without blinking an eye. So they paid WeX Exchange to integrate Kaspa and KRC20 in October 2024 with a promise of 2 integration, but it's now March 2025 and WeX has failed to deliver on terms of our agreement or refund our listing fees. So that's bad about WeX. I don't use WeX, and I pray no one is using it because it doesn't seem to be very, very trustworthy. This would be in my warnings channel in my community. I've got a channel there called Warning, or what's it called? It's called Community Warning. I've got a channel called, Community Warning / Scam Watch. I want to say it's a Scam Watch, but Community Warning here. So those using WeX, be careful, because they are not trustworthy at all. So that's a shame. They're kind of just taking money from the community. This sort of stuff happens. It's not good to see. That's why, again, I don't trust exchanges. Not your crypto. Hold your Kaspa on a cold storage Tantrum, 1 key, ledger. You know the deal. But the listing from Kaspa right now, I think is, they're not the greatest exchanges personally. I don't use them, at least. I know XT has we already have a community warning in the CF community here about XT that came from Cheeky Ninja, who highlighted that XT were also doing some very illicit things. So just be wary of them. So yeah, I mean that's regarding Nacho right now. A lot of delistings right now, I think it's probably for the best right now, and you see probably them come back following the market return and the FOMO back into the Kaspa ecosystem, and therefore back into KL20 as well. Because don't make no mistake, a lot of these projects right now are dying, and seemingly all of these ones that I'd like to say have the exclamation point here, which is a sign that has low liquidity and trading volume, therefore might not be reliable. These ones are ones that I would argue are probably the ones that are the highest risk to reward, and I personally would not go near them. Just me personally. Again, not financial advice, do as you will. I'm not trying to fund any of these projects right now, but the volume right now is less than $100. They are, with that regard, ghost projects, I guess. But the ones that aren't there, so these top 32, Kirby all the way up through here, and equally up through the top here as well. These ones seem to be relatively trustworthy, who has enough volume in them to still be active. Of course, Nacho, Kango, Kaspa Ghost, Goad, Croak as well has got a lot of volume. I mean, that might be because of a community shift. I wouldn't be surprised if CG has got his community of KLC20 followers to switch from Kiro to Croak. I can't confirm that, of course, but seeing that Kiro was up there and now Kiro's already got 4K, 5K volume is quite surprising. So I'm imagining this to be a shifted narrative. But the ones that have a high volume are ones that are relatively trustworthy, so it's worth looking into. Because for me, the projects that are still getting adoption right now, when Kaspa does return, which for me is inevitable, these will also likely make big gains as well. I still believe, while seemingly quite hard to do so, if Kaspa, let's just say, argument say Kaspa does reach the price of $2, so that is a 50 billion market cap, then that would put Nacho, logically speaking, from what I've seen, the meme token side of things, the top meme underneath it being Nacho, that should ascertain to 5 to 10% of the total supply of Kaspa. So if it's 50 bill market cap, it should be 2.5 to 5 bill market cap for Nacho in that regard. So conservatively speaking, I say Nacho still, I believe, could potentially reach a 1 bill market cap, which of course would be a massive jump from here. You know, that is a 100x almost. I mean, that's again not financial advice. Memes are very, very risky. So yes, please do your own research, your own discussion. Nacho's team is very professional from what I've seen, and I do choose to trust them. But again, ultimately they are a meme, so the risk to reward is significantly higher. So you've got to do your own research. Be very, very careful about that. But right now, development's still going strong right now for Kaspa. We can see here from Kasware wallet that they apparently are now announced. They are thrilled to announce that the Android closed testing for Kasware has finally arrived. So it looks like Kasware are going to be available on the Google Store very soon as well. So again, more adoption, more ways to get hold of Kaspa is ultimately very, very good to see. People, of course, have lost a little bit of faith in Kasware, but they seem to be still be doing good things to try and make amends for their mishap during KRC20 relaunch. And we have more and more third parties that are coming out as well. You got Caspian, you got you got Crypto Galaxy's one, Ghost, I think is one that's being used a little bit. You got another one, I want to say it's Caspian's, but I think I might be mistaken. I need to double check that just to be sure. I'm sure people in the community already know what I'm talking about either way. If not, Kaspa is another one as well. But yeah, either way, good to see this sort of stuff coming through. And one thing also very important to note as well, this post here from Watchaguru here, that apparently Russia is using Bitcoin, Ethereum and stablecoins for oil trade with China and India to bypass sanctions. So ultimately, again, seeing crypto being utilized in global trade is extremely bullish to see. And this is the sort of future we have with crypto as well. As a final point, I'll be also mentioning this post here from Nicholas Sismal, who is the co-founder head of research of CaspaMedia.com. Previously had a listing for Binance US, who highlights here this video, this 10-minute video here talking about ultimately the Bitcoin ideals and whatnot. The TLDR, what Sismal says here, is that Bitcoin maxis want Bitcoin fractional reserve banking so badly right now, which is crazy, and it is truth and matter, you know. IIAC bit bonds, so Bitcoin sweetened T-bills basically, so treasury bills, debt could be used as collateral within the repo market. We should know all too well that repercussions of private securities markets fractionalizing T-bills, essentially this will cause more Bitcoin lending than Bitcoin mined, printing Bitcoin out of thin air for anyone. It's crazy right now that a lot of Bitcoin maxis seemingly are begging for these institutions to, you know, adopt Bitcoin and, you know, put it into these sort of back-end systems. I'm not a Bitcoin maxi. The only reason why I'm not too against this happening is because I'm not a Bitcoin maxi. I'm a Kaspa maxi. I believe in Kaspa, and I don't think Kaspa should go down this route either. I hope it doesn't. But the fact of the matter being, if there's a possibility and it does come to fruition that they can do more Bitcoin than the Bitcoin being mined, so they're printing Bitcoin out of thin air, it's just going to be another form of money. And Bitcoin is proof of work. It should not be able to be possible like that. So this is, again, I'll put this information in my community. Go check that out again. You can listen to the video yourself. It's a very shocking but interesting insight, and once more why, you know, why the institutionalization adoption, while bullish for more liquidity coming in, it can also be poisonous as well. That's what Kaspa's trying to prevent. That's why KRI is getting involved to protect Kaspa from the decentralization of Kaspa. Is also meant to help prevent and protect Kaspa from government overreach and bad acting. That's what KRI got Kaspa for. That's why they want Kaspa. I think there will be a bear run after the cycle always continues. I mean, again, there's potential of such. I'm not disagreeing with the potential of such. Of course, historically speaking, it's always a bear market. But again, just to put it on your mind for a moment of thought, there is enough sources out there suggesting that the next so-called bear run won't be the typical bear run. And again, we spoke about it a lot more in my last stream. So not this week's one I did today. Last week's executive roundtable, we spoke about it in a lot more detail. How there's more proof from institutions that this could not be a typical correction after the bull cycle. Again, if you want to know more about that, the playback stream is available in the community here. You can join for free, check it out. We provide a lot more in there as well. And also going to be posting the sources for all of the information that we've been looking through in the last few weeks in there over this week. So you can see what sort of institutional documents. This comes from KPMG, from Deloitte, from Ernst & Young, from IBM. So many institutional documents from university research papers as well that highlights the sort of integration of crypto and the future we have for this space going forward. Yep, very bullish natural delist from most trash exchanges except from the big listing soon. I mean, yeah, again, I think it's bullish not for the sense of, you know, delisting from rubbish exchanges, so to speak. It's just the fact that, again, it's not going to hinder Nacho at all because there's no adoption anyways coming through for KRC20. So it's just going to remove any potential noise or whatever it may be, and then when the markets recover, they can then potentially be relisted there if they choose to. And that'll drive a little bit more FOMO back to the project, and also then using that as an extra catalyst for a big exchange could be a very smart marketing strategy. So I think it's not a bad decision at all from them. XT is a trash can of an exchange. I've had too many problems with them. They've also lied to me twice via the support demand. Yeah, also I think it was you as well, Buffalo 3. It was you and Cheeky Ninja who both mentioned that XT are just terrible basically, and they're not very transparent, which is the problem again with exchanges. That's why again I don't trust them. It seems like exec has delisted Nacho as well. Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. This is Nacho's team. This is WeX, sorry, WeX. I mean, yeah, exec as well. I think from what I haven't seen all of it, but I've seen a lot of exchanges right now have delisted Nacho, which is not too surprising, and arguably also a good thing. Because again, it's not going to hinder the price right now with there being just little adoption right now. Only 224,000 volume. This is in. The can go in the 4 or 5 million not too long ago, and Nacho was equally around 2 million not too long ago as well. So. But it'll come back. The fact that we're 100 days or so off a year launch for Nacho is crazy though. It's actually crazy. It's good, it flows into crypto, but Binance and Wintermute need to be put in their place with regulations. Look what they did recently when they liquidated $10 billion by manipulating Wintermute. Yeah, true, but unfortunately, I don't think regulations are going to stop that. Think about the stock market. Stock market exists and there's regulations in play for that. Doesn't stop them as well. Institutions in Wall Street, you know, they're already manipulating the markets. Regardless of regulations, they can play around the regulations. They know how to. They have the play to do so. These institutions like Wintermute and Binance are no different. So regulations will help, you know, potentially lessen some of it, but it won't stop it at all. They'll find, you know, loopholes around it, as they always do. I don't see a reason why, if you as a project, let's just say on Bybit, Gate, or BitGet, why would you care to go back to XT Coin for any? I agree with you. I also don't necessarily see the reason as to why you want to go back to them, but it's just, again, it's an element of more adoption, right? Of course, for Kaspa right now, Kaspa is listed on many, many exchanges. You know, XT, Bellbank, Bitmart, all these exchanges here, and of course, many, many more. If you got delisted from XT, you know, in the grand scheme of things, it's not a big deal. They're saying that they do have quite a lot of volume for Kaspa. It ultimately comes down to an element of volume. You know, if you've got more volume coming through to other exchanges, whether they're small or big, it's going to help more so with adoption. Having as many exchanges as possible for adoption is ultimately the better thing. So, if Nacho's doing that, just because it's not going to affect them in price really much at all, and then when the price starts to rally up again with Kaspa, and they follow the KRC20 products as well, and they add these exchanges back, or even just get different ones that are better as well, these exchanges will probably be it's one of those ones as well. Right now, Nacho's not got any demand and whatnot. let's just say markets start to recover and they get Binance, Kraken, BitGet, Bybit, so on and so forth. You'll likely see these other ones that have been delisted, the XX, the XTs, the Bitconomy, the coin stores. You'll probably see them want to get back in because they realise that they're going to miss out on a lot of money. So it's a case of they delisted right now, but they're going to probably scamper to relist, I imagine, when the markets recover and other big exchanges are launching these nachos and whatnot. So it's not a case of Nacho deciding it. Like, beforehand you probably had Nacho paying for the listing. Now, it's not necessarily in their best interest. They might just wait for them to come to them. Who knows? Exit. And yeah, as Buffalo said, they say, smack that like button for J Sizzle. That's a new one. I've had J Dog before, not J Sizzle. Yeah, if you enjoy this stream, of course, be doing this stream every single day. Leave a like, share your friends, and subscribe for more. Exec, who would trust that one? They obviously got hacked. I mean, you said Bybit got hacked as well, technically. Well, the Ethereum, yeah, Bybit got hacked technically as well. But I still would arguably trust Bybit. I mean, I don't trust any exchange, truth be told, but I trust Bybit. It's a bigger exchange in that regard. I wouldn't trust any exchange, fundamentally speaking, but if I have to choose to trust one, you know. I mean, yeah, I get the point you're trying to make, though. I do get the point you're trying to make. And, yeah, ultimately, it's not a big deal that exec delisted Nacho, whatever it may be. Of course, WeX also doing some really illicit things as well, which is, you know, tough to hear. Incredibly expensive, nearly 5% to purchase Kaspa. Oh, that is not good to hear. It's not good to hear at all. I mean, yeah. I'm sure Kraken will sort it out when all the volume comes back for Kaspa. Again, we're quite low right now, but I'm sure it'll be sorted out in due time. What price point would you guess Binance list Kaspa? I don't think it's going to be a price point, and it's going to be a volume thing. I don't think Binance will wait for... right now, from what I've seen from the information... We had a whole talk about it in our community yesterday about Binance's... Or at least we talked about Wallet 2 here, the potential Binance wallet, and the average price point for Kaspa. Right now, I think it's 12.1 cents. So right now, 12.1 cents, if that is Binance's wallet, that wallet there, number 2, is currently down about 35% on that investment, which I think was, when we looked at yesterday, was around $30 million worth of Kaspa. They're down right now. So either they wait for it to go above that level, or they just wait for the market to be better. Kaspa might be down here, but all the markets are turning really, really bullish following stablecoin policies, crypto regulations, money printing, rate cuts, whatnot, everything happening at the same time, and the market starts to make and Bitcoin starts to break all-time highs, then I think that might be an indicator for Binance to list Kaspa as well. I think it's going to be a combination of market sentiment and also capital developments. But if you're going to look at a price point, potentially is where that wallet, if this wallet is Binance's wallet, their average price from what I've seen right now is 12.1 cents. Of course, they're going to probably buy some more Kaspa on Monday, so that will lower the average again. They might do it after that average, goes positive. Who knows? And Kaspa bounces natural, bounce hard too. I believe so as well. A lot of the projects I think have fallen off, but the big ones, Nacho, Kango, Kaspa Ghost, Gold, Kiki, like even Conan, these ones here, I think they still have a lot of potential to make a big bounce when it comes back as well. Conan, again, despite it being quite far down market cap-wise, has always been quite consistent with good volume. It's always had quite decent volume. It was top 3 not too long ago as well. I think you're a good YouTuber, but please slow down when speaking. And my first language is English. I apologize, man. Yeah, I do. It's partly the... I'm trying to think what it is. Definitely a condition of mine. I speak quickly because... I don't know, it's just something I picked up. I think it's because when I was younger, I had quite a noticeable lisp. And just to try and mask it, I tried to speak quickly. And it worked until now it's hard for anyone to understand what I'm saying in general. I do plan, funnily enough, to see if I can seek out a language coach, a speech therapist or something like that to help, with my presenting. Just because I understand that there are people, and again, it's your first language as well, so those who aren't their first language, I'm sure they're struggling to hear it. And I know people will say it's fine. Like, I'm not taking it as a flame or a negative sentiment. Of course, I understand and I agree that I speak too quickly. And of course, when I'm trying to help present news to the community and give some insights, especially if you can actually hear what I'm saying. I guess the benefit is I do have a community there, so you can look for the information yourself. But yeah, I do apologise, but I'll do better, I promise. And again, either way, thank you very much for the feedback. I do actually greatly appreciate it because it helps me, ultimately make myself better. And I'm all about trying to improve myself. So thank you very much. To list there is a waste of money. Really, I don't see any project ever doing that. Bybit didn't get hacked. It was Safe who got compromised. Oh yeah, that's what it was through Bybit, but it was Safe himself who got compromised. But yeah, I mean, again, whether they relist or not, time will tell, right? But Nacho seems to have a lot of delistings right now. So, if you're holding Nacho at any of the exchanges, the execs, the XTs, the coin store, the Bitconomy, just take it off before the time runs out. Any funds were not lost from exec. Is that a statement or a question? Because I'm not sure myself if it's a question. Try and listen slowly as the speaker can't talk slowly. Yeah, that will just play the stream on like 0. I remember the whole joke about listening to my streams on 2x speed. It must be sounding like rap god Eminem. If you put it on slower speed, that might help. I mean, yeah, I'll try to speak slower. The community starts to come out to get me again. Set the playback to 0. Oh, not even 0.75, 0.25. Crazy. Crazy indeed. Well, yeah. To an extent, you're not wrong there. Well, that being said, that will be it for today's Kaspa Daily Kaspa and Crypto live stream. Of course, if you enjoyed, leave a like, share, subscribe for more. A lot of things are coming for crypto and Kaspa right now. Stablecoin adoption is growing quicker and quicker with Kaspa and the general crypto market in USA. Looking very, very good. Potentially, you're going to see another 3 trillion worth of capital added to the space. So, market got a lot higher from here. I'm still not remotely worried about the significant volume we'll see in Kaspa and in crypto this cycle, and much more to follow that as well. If you want to know more about crypto and Kaspa and other stuff in general, then come check the free community here. Follow me on Twitter as well if you want to hear and re-see all the stuff that I retweet there as well, talking about the space and what's happening. And you want to have even more institutional insight, a lot more in-depth information, which Tony can attest to through the executive community here. A lot more in-depth stuff in there. Come check out the paid community. Well, you can join for free 7-day free trial again. Links in the description chat, also my homepage as well. I can see you never watched the Endgame series by Plan K. He'll deep dive into our Bitcoin layer 2 and become centralized Bitcoin. No, if you can, Tony, do me a favor, can you link me that on Discord and I'll have a look through it later this weekend, because I do plan to watch that. But I just, again, it completely slipped my mind, and it slipped my mind, but I did plan to watch it at the time. So you can link that to me on Discord, please, my man, and I will definitely go into this weekend, because, I've actually seen similar videos about the Bitcoin, like, original creators talking about how Bitcoin is going to generally become more centralized as well. I'll find the video about that and check it in tomorrow's stream, I reckon. But this is why, again, Kaspa is, a dime a dozen, because it's staying true to centralization with a layer 1 infrastructure and not expanded to layer 2s. Thank you very much, man. With that being said, have a great day, good evening, and good night. And I'll catch you all tomorrow. Take care now.